one day we will get a smooth transition from that opening intro to here. Hi everyone. How's our Friday doing? Can you guys hear me? Is there a delay between the video and the audio for you guys out there too? Because there's definitely a delay over here. Also, please, anyone tell me sound. All right. I just need someone. Is there sound? One day I will get this thing to work so that I can actually hear the noise coming out of the cans here and out of. All right, I see people saying hello back. Just confirm there's noise. All right, cool. Audio is good. We have a very there's. There, someone said there's sound from the Twitch side. Cool. There's sound everywhere. Slight delay. I hope that they. All right. It looks like my video and my audio seems to be caught up here. There's a tiny little delay, but I hope they catch up eventually. So we shall see. Let's see. Someone just said you sound great, but your face is not freezing in odd ways. Maybe. All right. People said, all right, looks like the delay is gone. You guys can hear me. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday in this apocalypse. We are here for our sermon of, bad news, but it's it's going to be, it's hopefully going to be delivered in a fun and delightful way. It's Peter, everything is delayed in LA. Yeah, it's the traffic. I got stuck on the 405 on the way there. Matt just said, we hear you are queen. I should, before I get into, all the things I have to get into this week, and obviously Science Dog will be back in a moment. He's having, he's having a little bit of a, like, it's as happens often here. He's having a bit of a day. He needs to bark it out sometimes. He's very depressed about the pandemic. I want to explain some weird, wacky stuff that happened over on Twitter. I accidentally declared myself queen of the Seychelles. The archipelago island, the archipelago nation off in the Indian Ocean, as happens, I declared myself queen of a nation. Anyways, so because I'm going to try to not talk about politics too much, but this was just a funny thing that happened. So because the Trump soon to be no longer Trump, Stephen Reese just asked, should we be wearing pants? You should wear whatever you're comfortable with. It's the apocalypse. Pants are optional. So anyways, as Trump is currently trying to, I believe Texas was just thwarted in doing this. Texas and all these other states are just suing random other states for Trump to become president. So I was like, all right, if that's how this works, I'm going to sue Montana to become queen of the Seychelles. So then people started requesting titles, and now I'm like, all right, I guess I'm just queen of the Seychelles. This is my plan. I'm just going to keep on saying I'm going to manifest it that I'm queen of the Seychelles. Now, here's the thing. I figure just by saying I'm queen of the Seychelles, I have the exact same amount of power as most of the monarchs in Europe, which is none, absolutely none. So it's fine. It's fine. I can just keep saying I'm queen of the Seychelles. Changes nothing for the Seychelles, for me, for all the rest of the monarchs. And the other thing is, I watched The Crown through twice. I'm practically ready to monarch. I'm going to be fine. Like, I'm not going to be like a hands-on monarch, like that goes over and imperializes anything. I'm just going to stay over here and be like, carry on, Seychelles. You're doing a good job. Keep doing what I'm cheering for them. That's all. And I'm just passing out. That's all I'm doing. So I just wanted to address that. I appreciate all my subjects in the Seychelles. Well done. I also, before we hop into this, I wanted to talk about something that I posted a few hours ago that a few people are mad about. Mars, I see you. I wanted to chat about this before. And here's the thing. We're not going to have any constructive conversation about this if you're yelling at me that I'm transphobic to start this off with. So if you simmer, we're gonna chat about this, because we need to get onto the COVID in a moment, but we're going to talk about the crayons. Yes. So I posted a link to a product that I have in the course of 5 years since my co-host over on Two Girls One Mic started making these crayons. I have named 2 crayons out of 5 packs of them, and I did not name the ones that people are angry about. I'm embarrassed by one that no one has ever raised a fucking complaint about, which shows you my level of embarrassment over offensive jokes. Like my Alice, we want to know which one. I will tell you guys which one I named on my deathbed. Fair enough. No, I'll tell you which one I named in the Christmas pack. The one I named in the Christmas pack is Chet's Nuts Roasting in My Open Mouth. I named that one. I am very proud of it. I didn't, the one that, there are two that people are mad about in the original pack. And one of them, here's the thing, I don't find either of the two that people are mad about funny at all. I agree that one of them is quite offensive. And actually, before I got on here, I talked to Alice, and here's the thing, it takes a long time to phase crayons out, to phase something out of a product that is sitting in a warehouse that gets just auto delivered to people, especially when those products are being shipped, you order them from China. There's a whole, but anyways, yeah, it's because from the feedback that was taken there, we're discuss, like, here's the thing, I don't have any say over this. Like, Alice and I are partners on this podcast. We'll occasionally talk colors for it's Dan Keeling asked, will you tell us what the name for the other one on the Patreon stream? Yes. So if you want to know what other color I named, sign up for my Patreon and I'll tell you. Like I said, it's not offensive. It's just cringy. And I cringe that I suggested it for a color now. Like like I said, I cringe at myself for it, but it's not one of the ones that people are angry about. But here's the thing. So it's the one, these were all named before 2016, which is, or it's, I think they were, or they might've been named like in the wake of his, either way, he was one of the ones that is going to be phased out from the crayon pack is, I believe, is Fabricated Rape Red. That is, I like I said, it's been a while since I've looked at these. I forgot that was even in there. Yeah, that one, Smacked Ass Red. Oh, I like that one. I'm going to suggest that one over to Alice. She might like that, actually. But no, I completely, I agree with the audience on this. It's not just offensive. It's offensive. Like, it's not offensive funny. I don't find it funny. I also don't find self-identified blue in a pink, I don't find it funny. I didn't write the crayon. And I get why seeing, like, I get that you guys, here's the thing. I don't think that there's ever a way that somebody can say, I'm not here to try to, like, I throw myself on the mercy of the court and also say that, look, I'm not going to defend the crayon to people who were offended by it, because you were offended and that's valid. And I want to say, I understand that your feelings on that. It's not, I see you saying, you haven't responded to us. And I didn't not respond out of not seeing you. It's because I've been through the ringer on the internet, and I know that once you start, I was going to respond here. That was my plan. Okay. It wasn't out of not wanting to chat and talk about it. It was because I was planning to chat here. I hope that's okay. I hope that we're having this talk now. And that's, I think there's a delay again on the video and the audio, but no, I wanted to talk about it here a bit. But no, I understand it. And like I said, don't have control over the product itself. So I've talked to Alice, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get her to pull both of them, but yeah, these are kind of older. They are, I know that I know it's going to take some time to overhaul some of the names, but I'm pretty sure that, yeah, there is one thing that kind of did bother me, and I say this as a Jew myself. It's really odd to me that that not a single complaint about, and I mean, I approved this crayon when she was originally making them, because, like, if you know a Jew, if you've met one of us, you know that we that nobody tells more Holocaust jokes than Jews do. But there's one crayon in there, Auschwitz Ash. I'm really surprised that none of you guys, that all the people yelling about, I was going to buy this for my kid, or I was going to buy this, until I got to self-identified pink or self-identified blue. I forget which one is, but it was weird to me that there were things in there that I think were, Mom has entered the chat. It was weird to me that that all these other crayons that I think were of equal weight in their offense to, I mean, even greater offense, I think, to self-identified blue, that people who I would hope are advocates for and allies to everyone who's in the marginalized spectrum of people, ignored all of those really, I would say, could be deeply hurtful crayons, just to focus in on and laser in on one that, and I mean, I get it. That's that bad. And I see someone saying self-identified blue is visible in the thumbnail. I don't think I saw it's not Holocaust Ash, it's Auschwitz Ash. Just want to be clear on that. But I want to, here's the thing, just because it's not I don't know what was, I didn't see what, saying I didn't see what was visible in the pictures, it might sound like a cop out. I wasn't like when I was posting it, the same picture wasn't visible in the preview that was visible that came up on the site. So it wasn't, anyways, what I'm trying to say is here's the thing with this. I understand that people would see this and think I'm, and automatically get a gut reaction that, oh, she's picking on, she doesn't no, it's, I want you to know your Auntie Cy Babe loves you. I think you were valid in your trans identity. I wasn't posting this to be, anti-trans, anti anything of your identities. I also would hope though that if you're looking at this and saying she obviously is anti X, Y, and Z identity, and you're ignoring that I had my family died at the hands of Adolf Hitler, and there's a crayon on that pack that says Auschwitz Ash. The way that I first bonded with Alice was over these crayons right after I had a miscarriage, and I didn't feel like I could talk to anybody about it because I wasn't upset about losing a child. I was, hormonal and didn't know how to feel, and she had a pack of crayons with miscarriage maroon, and I finally had somebody who I could talk to because somebody was making a joke about it. Okay, and I'm not saying that it's okay to pick on other people, but I'm saying that it's okay to make a joke about really awful things that happen in your life, because sometimes for some of us, it helps us cope. So I don't talk much about the fact that I had a miscarriage because I think some people think there's a certain way you're supposed to feel about it. I didn't know how I was supposed to feel, but I knew that Alice and these crayons helped me laugh a little bit during a really hard time of my life. So there was your real moment of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of darkness. But like I said, I didn't mean to hurt anyone out there. I hope you guys are, I know that some people are still going to be mad about this, and I know there are some people for whom no words I say are going to be all right. That you're going to say, you posted this, you endorse this. I think that you think that we are, that you're not okay. So anyways, someone just wrote, don't apologize. No, I think that apology, that when people feel hurt, that you should chat about it a bit. I'm like, my part of, like, I don't want to say my brand is compassion. Part of who I am, I think part of why I do what I do is I am compassionate about these things. But I just wanted to, chat this out and let you guys know that this was not, I didn't want people to walk away from my page feeling hurt by something that I look at as a joke, and all that and all this stuff. So please, if you looked at these and felt hurt, I look at these I look at these as something that have helped me laugh off some very hard times in my life. Ellery just asked, I'm kind of confused. Is it your company? No, it's not my company. My co-host on my podcast, Two Girls, One Mic, it's her company. I've made literally 2 colors out of all these crayons. So anyways, I hope that some of you guys that are trans or that are hurting from things that from that one crayon will have a look at, will look over my, many years of not being problematic, of being an advocate for people in the trans community. Of, I don't like, I don't. Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, look at but please guys, it's the other thing is, as Alice said when we were chatting earlier, if you have any major problems with crayons, post about it loudly and often on Instagram, because as we found out, people complaining about the crayons is like the best advertisement she's ever had. So post about it with the promo code SciBabe. Anyways, so yeah, that's it's I don't want to hurt anyone. I've got, like I said, I just last time I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna go back to the COVIDs. I'm not just an LG. It's Henry. I just sorry. Henry said this. I know you. Try to click on the thing, and it scrolls up, and I can't get the thing on this. I know you're an LGBTQ advocate. I'm not just an advocate. I'm also a client. I'm bisexual myself. I've been in relationships with women before, and I don't want to use a family member as my token trans person, but like my brother is trans. When I say I love my trans friends and family, like the closest human being to me, DNA is trans. I like when but here's the thing. I don't want to use my trans brother as that's not my excuse to say I can do whatever I want and it's all wiped away. And I know that. All right. So guys, like I'm not just an advocate. Like this is, I'm in the, I'm the B and the, anyways, but yeah, please guys, where I look at this is at who I am, not just the one crayon that I posted. And if you don't like the crayons, email Alice info@offensivecrayons.com. I'm sure she'll apologize much more than I. No, she won't. But yeah, I want you guys to, yeah. So that's it's don't buy the crayons. If you look at that and go, this is not what I want out of something. Anyways, so I think we're off that. I appreciate those of you guys that are saying or I think you're a good advocate, but there are some people who have there are people who saw that and were hurt, and I think that having this conversation has been important. There was someone at the beginning of this who was very mad and started off by yelling about transphobia. I think her name was Mars. I hope that I answered some of your questions. I know that people were upset that it's someone just said that talking fast may make me seem nervous. Just to let you know, I always talk this fast. This is actually a little slowed down for me, for people that are new. I mean, I could smoke some pot. I have a vape right here. That might help. But yeah, that's just, I hope that we can move past this. And I hope that my behavior will speak for more than just a crayon. One crayon that I didn't name, and that as I said, right after I saw how upset you guys were, I went and talked with Alice. And like I said, the crayon that I hope that is probably going to be phased out. It's, like I said, there are a lot of crayons to blow through in a warehouse in Southern California. But I believe she's going to be phasing out the fabricated rape red one. But yeah, that's where it's going to take a few packs of them there. That's where we're at. Anyways, that's so, yeah. But the thing that got it yanked off of, and I still love the story. The thing that got those crayons yanked off of Amazon, Amazon was offending Caucasians because white people were mad that the white crayon was called privilege. Can't offend white people apparently. So anyways, that's the crayon. But it's I just here. Look, let's be real with this. And I see some people saying it's that we don't we don't need to talk about this. I think it's important that we have this conversation. I'm sorry. I know there are some people for whom me saying this is not enough. And, I know that. And I think that some people are annoyed with me even addressing this, and that's not the right attitude. We gotta, when there are things that people are hurt by, we talk about them, especially when they're people who we love and that are in our community. So anyways, let's, we've had this chat. If anyone wants to email me to talk about this, I'm not going to do, because I've run a page for 6 years. I know how these conversations go. If you get into the weeds in the comment section, it turns into a long fucking drag out argument, and no one hears what you're saying. No one is listening to you. You never get anywhere productive. But I did like having this chat here. But if somebody, if you want to have a substantive discussion with me about it, feel free to email me, thecybabe@gmail.com. Anyways, let's move on, shall we? Matt Malachi, Cybabe, 5 hours of science in an hour. I theorize. I know why I have why I speak this quickly. I had a little bit of I have when I was young, and I may still have a little bit of a stutter. But when I was young, my stutter was very strange. I would take a breath in the middle of a word, and my brother would pick on me for it, as older brothers tend to do sometimes. And in order to stop doing that, I would talk so quickly that I wouldn't need to take that breath in the middle of a word. So that's kind of why I speak so quickly now. It's just, man, if my brother hadn't picked on me for that stutter, maybe I'd speak at a normal. Maybe I wouldn't speak at a Ben Shapiro rate. But you know what I can do that Ben Shapiro can't? Get a woman wet. Moving on. Anyways, let's head back over to the look. I got my Ben Shapiro joke out quickly today. Anyway, there's a sub joke in there somewhere. So I just. Moving on. Let's chit chat about the COVIDs right now, because things are not just fucked. They're terrified. Eric Taub, you take this back. You take this back right now. This is not okay. You can't. Just waiting for the show. I'm from Boston. you do not say but again, I don't have a Boston accent either. Like nobody can really, people know I speak quickly. Nobody knows where the accent is from because I definitely do not have a Boston accent. Like it's just give me a few more days of rewatching The Queen. Not only will I definitely be ready to take up my reign as Queen of Seychelles, but I'll have my Queen's English down. So it's some people are saying I still talk sub Ben Shapiro speed. Look, my whatchamacallit, when I go into doing an impression of Ben Shapiro explaining to a woman why he totally did give her an orgasm, that I totally speak at Ben Shapiro speed. Henry, I do not speak like New York. If I want to talk like a New Yorker, I can go into talking like a New Yorker, but not like that was not talking. No. I don't speak like a New Yorker. I do not. It was funny. My accent did change a little bit when I lived in England. It didn't become a British accent, and I know that there are Americans who go over there and they're bloody and whatever. But like, I definitely didn't pick up a British accent, and it's like it's softened in little ways that I never quite figured out. Like the weird thing that happened when I was in England was I started calling my mom. And like my brother calls her mom and I call her mum. And it's this weird thing that happened. The other is I started saying taking the piss, and like that's like they use the word piss differently in England. Like if you say I'm pissed in America, it means you're mad. And if you say I'm pissed in England, it means that you're drunk. And that gets confusing when you move to England and your classmates are talking about being drunk and you're not sure why they're angry. That took a little bit time to figure out. But the other thing is the phrase "taking the piss," and that just means you're teasing someone basically in England, and like they don't use that phrase in America. And I got back and I started using that phrase because like I had a housemate in England that would say, I think the phrase was 90%. I'm gonna like. Please don't pick on me for this really awful attempt at a British accent. Like my British accent is bad. For living over there, it's impressively bad. But he would say 90% of British male relationships are based on piss taking. And like I was, if you don't know, like it's like it took a while for me to go, oh, he just means picking on each, just ragging on each other. But I came back here and it's like it didn't feel like there was one perfect one-to-one relationship or like like there's no phrase we use that just I'm just taking the piss. I'm just, I love that phrase and I haven't dumped it, but I don't use the phrase, the word bloody or arse or like those they seem like affectations when I hear Americans use them. So Thomas Alley just said, do an Aussie accent. I was able to do an Aussie accent like the few times I've been over there for a little bit and just listened and was like, all right, how do the vowels? And really carefully like tried to figure it out. But anyways, that's yeah, no, I'm not going to do an Aussie accent here. I don't want to embarrass myself. Anyways, that's where. So anyways, COVID, which is what we came here to chat about. I'm 24 minutes in. I'm going to start talking about COVID now. So just read about how the COVIDs are doing in LA. And yesterday, or I think it was yesterday that I wrote this on my personal page, that we had gotten almost like a little, and I'd rounded up for this, about 0.1% of LA had been diagnosed with COVID yesterday. Over 0.1. Oh, 13,000 people in LA were diagnosed with the COVIDs. I don't know if it's today or if this was from yesterday, but yeah, 13,815, which is over 0.1%. So this means that if everyone in LA, like if we kept going at this pace, and we are, just to remind you of where we are with this in terms of hospital capacity and all this stuff, we have about 500,000 people I think this is how many have been officially diagnosed so far. But like if we're taking into account how many people don't know they're infected, how many people are sick and haven't gotten tested, that kind of stuff, 1 in 20 people is wandering around LA right now with an active COVID infection, give or take. It's pretty bad. It's probably high. It might be higher. And I mean, the fact that more people are getting infected every day, it's gotta be higher. It's getting worse. Anyways, and we're exactly 2 weeks out from Christmas. right now the cases we just went from cases getting diagnosed to cases starting to hit the hospital to 2 weeks from now the cases that went from day 0 at Thanksgiving to day hitting the hospital now are going to be day dead by Christmas. So all the people that were like, well, nothing happened to me at Thanksgiving, so my family's we're going to get together again at Christmas. There's going to be a lot more virus spread by Christmas. One in 20 people in the I believe second biggest most populous city in the U.S. Is infected right now, and a ton of people are still going to be like, nah, I'm going over to mom's house for Christmas. It's going to be fine. Just a quick interruption to this. One of my favorite patrons, Monchin Christian Pignon, just asked, if you're a queen, can you make me a count? What, just a count? I would expect it's not a duke. I can make you higher than that. I'm just saying. I have pull in the Seychelles. I feel if people don't know that I know that I'm not the queen of the Seychelles. Like I'm not. I'm a little wacky, but I know where sanity it's ends, and it just wanted to clarify that. But don't worry, I can make you a duke. Anyways, but yeah, things are bad here. I believe my friend Joel said that yesterday. Like, I thought it was around 15%. He's like, no, we've dropped down to 9% in LA. It's bad. California apparently had 35,000 cases total today. Thank you, Chris, for that bit of information. Where we had 13,000 in Los Angeles alone. This is not like I know I don't have to tell you this. You know this, but this is a lot of not good. Now, the thing that we've been talking about all along, and that only really came, to a head at a few places so far in the U.S., have been, we don't want to fill up the ERs. We don't want to fill up the ICUs, right? And that happened, a couple different places before. It's happened in New York. It happened in, I want to say, Arizona. And it's happened in a few little places, at a few places in Texas before. We've had brief lockdowns or brief times where people were like, we're gonna pull back. It'll be fine. Chris, you can be the court jester. Now it's been now the thing is, we're at a point now where it's so far. Dan Keeley said patrons should get better titles. Only patrons are eligible for dukedom. That is the rule. Patrons can be dukes. That's the rule. Anyways, but we're at the point now where, unlike previous times, oh my God, Stockton's down to 1.9% of it. Jesus. Let me just throw this up here. But it's like, unlike earlier points of the pandemic, and I'm sure you guys have also seen the charts of, of maps of the U.S. where, we've had bits going at higher percentages here, and then ebbing and flowing, where it's like, oh, it's worse, it's gotten a little bit better, it's worse, it's gotten a little bit better. Right now, everywhere in the country is just blooming with COVID, between that cold, dry air that we get during Christmas time, and the fact that everyone went home for Thanksgiving, and the fact that schools reopened, and the fact that people are just kind of, fucking tired of following the rules right now. They're like, haven't I locked down for long enough? Like, even the people who locked down for a long goddamn time were just tired of locking down. And a lot of people, didn't follow the rules even after they'd followed the rules for a while. And that's why we're in this mess. And it's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying right now. Like, and here's the thing, the part about it that's terrifying is not just, that people are getting sick, because, we're better at treating it now. We are, like, a much lower, my mom would like to point out that in fact, that if we want to get technical, we are descended from a baron. So in fact, I have like a fraction of a drop of royal blood, which is probably why I have so many genetic problems. Like, if you're royalty, if you're actual descended from royalty, like, yeah, of course you're a genetic fuck up. Like, Mom, this explains why I have all the like we just, we did a DNA test and we found out I'm 100%. Like, that's what happens there. Anyways, back to the COVIDs. But there's, like, right now, so we're at a really scary point in terms of ICU availability, and that's the thing that we've talked about a lot, right? Like we've said, like when people are like flatten the curve, like we've promoted this idea because we've never in the U.S. Like it feels weird to be giggling about giggling about my royal ancestry / potentially fucked up genetics while talking about massive death in the this is what you guys come here for. But it's anyways, sorry, just giggling at you guys' comments. Oh, my homeopathic royalty. That's about how much I have. Like, there might be like one cell of it left. That's what you get when like the last royal was like 1650s, like 12 generations ago, give or take. It's one drop. Anyways, let's scroll. Anyways, so beginning of this, how many times did you hear flatten the curve, flatten the curve, flatten the curve? And, we kept saying, like, unlike places like New Zealand that were, getting rid of COVID, we're like, we just want there to be less, a manageable amount, because we need there to be small enough to to be able to manage it in our ICUs, right? We're at the point where there aren't going to be, it's where the ICUs are full. Like, what else is there to say? Like, Sweden is there. I believe Stockholm, there was an article that Stockholm's ICUs are 99% full. They have 1% left. The Swedish the Swedish approach, we don't have a tactic, we're just gonna tell people maybe, hey, stay home. That didn't work out now, did it? I keep seeing libertarians that I'm still friends with, we've somehow remained friends through all this, that we're beginning of this being like, all of these lockdowns are silly, you leftists are just anti-economy. I'm like, oh, you wait. They haven't said a fuck word for weeks now. Nothing about Sweden. And here's why this gets bad. Like, when this was just New York City, it was horrifying. It was because 0.3% of New York City is dead. They are not coming back. They've died from this. We just pretend like nothing happened. It's like we're just there are people who still think that no pandemic occurred, which is horrifying. But 0.3% of New York City died. And when that was happening, I get it. We didn't know what we didn't know what we were dealing with. But also, at that point, it was really just New York and a few small hotspots that were hit, because we really did lock down. Okay, let me phrase it. We locked down kind of at the beginning of the pandemic. People stayed home more, and there were the only place that really was getting hit in the US was New York. The lion's share of those cases and those fatalities in the US were New York City. So when they needed more doctors, more nurses, people could come from other parts of the country and help out. That's not the case anymore. Yeah, like how that's really the problem right now, is that as ICUs are filling up and as people are like, I don't have to, I'm fine. I've been going out and doing what happens? It'll be fine if I go home. I'll just stay. Like, you don't know if you're going to have the case that's asymptomatic, or you just need to go to the hospital for like a couple days for oxygen, or you're going to have and when we get to this point where we have so little room left in the ICU, and there are still people who are like, I don't believe it. I was fine all these other times I went out. TikTok, it's going to happen eventually. This is where we're going to see care triaged. We're going to see doctors, and this is what terrifies me, because I have so many friends that are doctors and nurses and work in hospitals. Like, the trauma that's going to happen to, like, they're already traumatized forever. This is the amount of therapy these people are going to need. Oh my fucking God. They went to med school. They went into tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt to try to learn to be doctors and nurses, to try to save your asses. And you couldn't put on a fucking mask for them. My God. Whew, the selfishness. But they're going to get to a point, because people couldn't skip one thing. It's gonna be Grandma's last Thanksgiving. Yeah, of course it is, if you see her. They couldn't stay home for one fucking holiday. Now they're going to be doctors and nurses who are going to be so overrun in their hospitals with patients that they're going to have to choose, just based on a set of numbers and criteria, which people get a vent, because that's what happens when your ICUs are overrun and you don't have enough readily available vaccine yet, because it's right there. It's like we're just it's right there. All you have to do is stay home for another couple of fucking weeks. I mean, I know it's a little longer than weeks, but still, like, the fact that it's no longer like, oh shit, it's going to be years. The fact that you can start making plans for at some point in next, like, the fact that plans are a thing that are going to happen again eventually, and you could just go, all right, there's a finite amount of time that lockdown is going to last for now. And people are still like, nah, I want to make someone who just got out of med school decide who gets a ventilator, because I need to get my Aunt Mildred's fucking mashed potatoes this year specifically. Like, my God, can we be a little bit more humane, people? But yeah, I'm horrified that this is still all just thing that people are okay with. But the good news, I haven't heard sign of party yet tonight, but it's only 5:30. So quick up note. Once again, thank you, Akiko, for my megaphone. I have put batteries into it. It's really loud. So if there are parties this week, I'm gonna fuck some shit up and I'm gonna get video. But yeah, it's so anyways, back to that little rant before I so rudely interrupted myself. So yeah, it's a really terrifying time to get COVID. And I mean, I feel for people who have to, just go to work, go to, to the grocery store, to your, to whatever your day job is, that you have to be near people. Because it's Russell just said, do you have batteries yet? Yeah, just bought them. It's like your plain old day job where you have to be near other humans, because like you're not doing something irresponsible, and that's why people should, if you don't have to go out, if you don't have to be around other humans, stay home. Like, and I want to correct something that I said earlier this week, and because, as I've said, I can admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. I was wrongy McWrongington about a thing that I said earlier. It's my contact lenses are fogging up. I feel like taking my contact lenses off on camera would be, I don't think anyone wants to see me pluck my eyeballs out. If you guys can just give me like, I feel like I should have been humming the Jeopardy theme song through that. So they were old contacts. They were ready to go. And now I have, look at my little kitty ear glasses. They match my little kitty ear headset. There we are. Thank you guys for bearing with me. I have I got a handful. My other pairs of glasses are like really, really adorable, but not anti-glare. These are the only ones I can really do on camera. But yeah, as soon as, sorry, fog up isn't the right word. Peter said, how do contact lenses fog up? No, like as soon as one like twists just the slightest bit, because I have astigmatism, as soon as one twists just the littlest bit, it's just like, like everything is just, I may as well not be wearing them. And like, nobody wants to see me like poke at my, like, or if I don't know, maybe you do, maybe that can be my OnlyFans. I'll poke at these eyeballs for you boys. I'll do it. But so Eddie, G-Man over on I just have to post this onto the screen. G-Man over on Periscope said, I'm still waiting for you to take a breath. Hold on, I'll take a few. Just do you feel better now? Are you less worried that I'm gonna pass out now? Because I feel I get it. I talk a lot. I talk at a fast rate. I use a lot of words, and it's Ryan just asked, wait, are you on? I'm not on OnlyFans yet. My podcast co-host Alice and I joke that one day we'll open an OnlyFans, but not yet. It hasn't. Hold on a second. Let me just. It has to just. It's. I joke that I've cut bangs because I can't get Botox right now. Joke. Look, I'm very vain. Looking at the comments out here, I sometimes feel like this is like you're like we have a toy on the other end of this. Like, let's see what we can get her to do. Take a puff of your vape. Well, if you insist. That was a deep breath. Pardon me. I'll be okay soon. I should have known better. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm better now, I think. Anyway, I hope you guys are all right. It's Russell said, I think, and now I'm jealous. Look, there are many upsides to being married to my husband, other than the fact that he's my husband and I'm wonderful. And one is that he makes these for work. But no, he is an organic chemist, and he's the chief scientist at a lab that makes all sorts of cannabis products. So he regularly comes home and is like, hey, can you taste test this for me? I'm like, twist my arm, baby, twist my arm. So it's wonderful. Anyways, let's see. Shit, that's an interesting bit of information. My vaccine trial got canceled because of false positive HIV results. Which trial are you in? So a couple people are asking, I need more information from you, my friend. I see another organic chemist another organic chemist out in the comments. Hey, Farrell. I wanted to quickly, address some vaccine trial stuff. So I go for my next appointment on Monday. I had chatted. So I mentioned to a couple of you. I know I'd mentioned this before. Somebody from Janssen/Johnson, I think it was from Janssen, had reached out to me. Slid into my DMs and was like, "Hey, I saw that you're in a trial. Let me know if you have any questions." And basically, my question has been, are you guys going to give us because I think I'm in the placebo group, as I've mentioned before. I had no reaction, but sometimes a good portion of people who got a good portion of the people who got the vaccine had no reaction whatsoever. So it's about a 50% chance, there's a chance that I got the vaccine and just had no reaction, which would be cool. But it's awful not knowing. It is just fucking awful not knowing. The other thing is, this one, the J&J one, uses that adenovirus vector technology, as opposed to the Pfizer and I believe Moderna ones that are both mRNA. I believe now what, and we do not know what. We don't know yet at all what the efficacy is for J&J. But J&J has, I believe, J&J has, I believe it's a similar technology to the AstraZeneca one. And the AstraZeneca one is that now, I think the reason AZ has had so much of an issue has been just the trial has been a mess. It hasn't been the vaccine itself. It's been they've just had the trial design. They haven't followed the trial design. They've had so many issues with people showing up late for their second shot. There have been different efficacy rates for people who've gotten the shot after the second shot after 1 month versus 3 months. And it's a big fucking data mess. So we don't know whether it's 60% effective or 90%. But either way, it's over 50%. So it's that's better than nothing. But what the issue here, because they use a similar, they do use a similar bit of technology, basically. So I shot a message back recently to to my contact over at Janssen, who's now left the company, so they could speak. I don't know if because they left the company, so they're like, I can speak freely now. But when I emailed and asked, is J&J/Janssen, are they going to be giving us? And this is what we all really want to know, who's, those of us that are in the trial, because the trial lasts for 2 years. I think I might have buried the lead on this. The trial lasts for 2 fucking years. And if I'm placebo, I need to, we all need to know more than we all, before a vaccine's on the market, it's fine that we don't know, right? Because nobody has access to a vaccine. But as soon as a vaccine's on the market, everybody wants to fucking know, did I get the vaccine or did I get the placebo? Because if I got the placebo, there's a deadly illness afloat, and there's now a preventative thing out there that I can go get. Pfizer has said they are going to give their vaccine to the placebo group. They're just, they're figuring out exactly when, but like they're one of the first groups of people that's going to get it is the people who receive the placebo, and they're going to unblind it somehow, and they're going to get that out to them. And J&J, there was an article that I read about this. Oh, I'll get to your question in a quick second, Sharon. I'm sorry, I forgot to. Anyways. But anyways, J&J had said in one article that they were not planning to, and I don't know if they're gonna, like, at some point they're gonna figure out that fucking no one is staying in their trial. Like they're gonna lose everyone from their trial anyway, because no one's gonna stay in. Not like the only people who are gonna stay in are people who absolutely know they got the shot because they had a very strong reaction. So they're like, oh, I know that I got the vaccine. So all of their people who had no reaction are going to leave because they need to unblind it, because they're like, there's a I stayed home for 9 months to get no, I'm out. So when I contacted my person, they said, yeah, if I were you, given that this is similar technology to the AstraZeneca one, and we don't know, we don't know yet. We don't have any data from J&J. There's none. So we don't know what we have no idea. It's unclear. I don't, this is not to say anything about the efficacy of J&J. So please don't mark it down going, J&J is bad. We don't know. Don't take this to the bank. But what my contact there said was, if a vaccine becomes available, like more than likely J&J will change their mind and be like, okay, fine, here is, we're going to do the same thing as Pfizer. Go ahead, here's the vaccine. But if J&J decides not to, and a vaccine becomes available and you have access to it, go get yourself the vaccine. Get yourself the first. If you're in a trial and there's no sign that, like if you're in any trial that's not the one that's giving out the vaccine now, like, and it's available out, just go get it. Like, get the first available fucking vaccine you can get. Don't leave it. Yeah, that's just what you should do. So that's, you need to save your ass. So that's where we're at with that. So it was we don't know what's happening with the J&J one yet. We're still waiting for more data. I'm terrified to be anywhere near humans, and I have to go into a building with people on Monday to go get more blood drawn for the trial. So yeah, hey, I'm sacrificing myself to see if a vaccine works. Oh God, I wish I'd had a reaction to it. Like, I've never hoped for side effects from something so hard in my life to not have any. So oh, anyways, I wanted to, back to Sharon brought this up. I'm glad that someone reminded me. I was wrong about a thing earlier this week. So my roommate was like, I'm going to the beach. And I'm like, you shouldn't, because COVID's everywhere. And what I should have said, and I looked, here's the thing. Whenever I say a thing and people push back on me, and they were right to, I went and looked at the California recommendations and what people are allowed to do. And basically it said outdoor places like that are, okay. Like places like parks and things, as long as, it's not too, like, be a fucking adult and use your judgment. If you go to a place like that and it's fucking crowded and it seems to be a place where you're going to have to go in and out of, tightly packed areas, don't. But, beach was fine. And so my roommate, we talked, I'm like, sorry that I told you not to go to so anyways, yeah, turns out that occasionally Mrs. Cybabe is wrong about things, but I try to fact check myself afterwards and tell you when I'm wrong about the stuff. So yeah, in your area, when you've got an outbreak, check the state's website and don't always take it from me when I'm going on a self-righteous rant. So I was wrong. California, the California rules right now are, outdoor places, go ahead. So that's it. Henry Ortega, every time she talks about, so is there a drinking game for this live stream? If there is, I feel like California being mentioned, that's definitely take a shot. Mentioning my husband working at a cannabis place, that's got to be take a shot. Dear God, mentioning that Buddy is cute but stupid, that's probably take a shot, because I probably do that like every third episode. Like, I'm trying to think, what are my habits in this thing that like people come for? Saying Simon has entered the chat, like that's like a free space, right? That's like, there we go. So it's Debbie Cole saying your humility is fucking refresh. Like it's just I'm hopefully a vessel for facts to come through with the like I'm just a vessel through which like facts, a dick joke gets it. Like I'm an enzyme that catalyzes a dick joke onto a fact. That's all I am. That's what I do. That joke was as deeply nerdy as you're gonna get in this fucking. You are welcome. Cheers. Christian, Red Sox tattoo, finish your drink. Oh man. It's Mento, you mean you're not the one person in the world who's right about everything? I'm the one person who's going to admit that I'm not right about everything. I think that's important. Like the hardest part about skepticking is admitting you're wrong, is say like is having, and that's the thing. I think a lot of people say a lot of people say I'm a skeptic, and that means like I'm logical. Being a skeptic means being open to being wrong a lot. Like that's where you should be with something. It's like, all right, pardon me, that was unbecoming a lady. That was unbecoming the Queen of Seychelles. How dare it's look, I'm just saying, like this if you're going to get a monarch, you want a monarch with all these kitty ears. All of the kitty ears. I came prepared with enough kitty ears. This is who you wanted. This is what you wanted. Sai Hubby brings you a coffee shot. Exactly. That's why he does it. It's just Sai Hubby brings me the coffee just to make sure you guys get your alcohol. Get your alcohols in. So scrolling up. Scrolling. Where are we in here? Trying to grab a question or two. Oh Lord, I'm not gonna open an OnlyFans. I've joked about this. I've made that there's no like I feel like where's the reason for an OnlyFans whilst I already have a Patreon? Like only if I was gonna start doing more pornography. It's oh my Sai Babe does something that is unbecoming a lady. Take a shot. You guys would be blackout drunk in 4 seconds. Just don't kill yourselves out there. I need you guys to send me more things off of my Amazon wish list. Speaking of, here's quick moment for a call to action. Oh God, this is my phrase that I need to throw onto a shirt eventually. So rudely interrupted myself. Like I'll say a thing and like I'll get off track and I all of a sudden realize that I've lost like where I was in a very like spaghettified train of thought, like, oh, I'm all over the place with something. And it's the only explanation is always, oh, I interrupted my, so I just, this needs to be on a mug or something, but I try. That is one of my clevers. It's that, or my other, I think, favorite phrase that I use far too often, at least in real life, is I'm sorry or you're welcome. But I'm like, I don't know what someone's internal reaction to this is, but it's going to be, you're here. I'm sorry or you're welcome. And just hope it works out for the best. So, oh my. No alcohols for some people. Look, if the alcohols are not working for you, just, that'll do. A little bit less of a deep breath last time. Oh my. I have a few let's see. I have a few shirts I have embroidered with some of the things you say. If you mean this, Star, I need to see pictures of them. Like I'm just saying, if there's actual embroidery, like I want to see cross stitch of my of like sorry or sorry of the Cybabisms. Mostly because I'm terrified of exactly which phrases get embroidered. Oh my. I'm sorry, you're welcome, aren't mutually exclusive. Very true. Anyways, let's get back on the COVID. Let's go back to it's cooking reference, drink a shot. I do cook quite a bit. This is very true. I did make more cheesecake this week. This week was celebratory cheesecake because the people that my housemates have done just an absurd amount of cleanup work around the house. Like there have been trees just like there has been just like another, I believe, 17 by 8 by 6 foot dumpster has just been filled with small amounts of forest from around the house. So I was like, all right, because like last week I threw a rib out just by bringing my groceries into the house. I'm like, I am useless for large construction projects, which is, it sucks. Like there are times when I'm doing really well and can do lifting and whatnot, but like, threw a rib out carrying groceries in. So I was not able to help with any of the large construction that my housemates were doing. So I made a bunch of cheesecake yesterday, and they are all very happy. Whilst we were sitting here, many texts showed up on my phone from my housemate saying the cheesecake was good. So that has been my task this week. It's I. Eric have just asked, so do you live in an artsy bohemian loft or what? I feel like I need to explain I've explained the kind of commune I live in. Like one of my housemates is, and I've said this, but this is probably a take. This is something I say rarely, and like a few of you can probably remember. So this is one, like either a take a shot or like something moment, but one of my housemates is in the Bangles. Oh yeah, I'm not even kidding. I have one of my housemates. Her name is Annette, and she plays bass for the Bangles. So that is absolutely 1,000% true. And you're probably gonna like there are at least 100 of you, or there are probably, I'd say, 20 of you that are typing in Annette the Bangles right now to be like, what? This is absolutely true. She's Buddy's favorite person. My dog would totally leave me for her, and she's a kick in the pants. I love her. Cats love her so much. It's so yeah. That is one. But anyways, the house is like back in I want to say back in whatchamacallit, like I don't know when the house like formalized, but it was just basically a hippie house with people that are like, hey, there are artists should have some some affordable housing in LA, and a couple of people managed to buy this place and turn it into a kind of artist commune, and they've managed to keep the price of the place low to the people who live in here. And now a couple of the original owners have died, and we're in the middle of I don't know. It's been like I'm not on the board, so I don't know what's happening. But yeah, it's been interesting to see, like, since I've moved in, how it's been like renovated and how we're like, it's some like the greed that the owners of this place could have showed to the people that rent out rooms here, being like, oh, you want to live in this part of LA? In this nice of a house, here's how much we could charge you. And it's, yeah, that's it's been nice to have a place in a safe part of the city for affordable rent, because there were people who decided there should be a place like this. So yeah, a bunch of musicians, bunch of people who have been in the music scene in the city for a while, a couple of actors, and then me and my husband who are sciencey people. So that's, I feel very bad. Keith just said, I thought we were getting some music renditions for Thanksgiving. I think it was just that was my fault, not my roommate's fault, because I brought it up and they were like, should we? And I'm like, I got so exhausted from all the cooking. Like I literally was just waking up and cooking until I was exhausted for 3 days. So that was my bad. It's just, I can't look. I've been throwing myself into, as you guys have noticed, throwing myself into cooking so much just because it's something to be fair. Henry said, aren't you an unemployed journalist right now? Technically, you guys are my employers. I mean, I still kind of have I'm right. It's the truth, but I hate talking about like the problem with having video projects or having things that are going to be out on television is that talking about them before they're out, you feel like you doom the project into not happening. But and here's the other thing is that, like, I'm scheduled to film a thing tentatively in January, and I'm terrified. Like, you have to understand, like, when the world shut down, I might have talked about this. When it's Al Ferguson just said, "We're the boss of you." Yeah, my patrons are the boss of me, because like you guys, I live on and this is where I'm going to say, please sign up for my Patreon. Please sign up for my Patreon, or if you want to help keep the pirate ship afloat and help pay for the Cypets vaccinations and all the other things that keep things running, keep things lubed up around here. It's my PayPal. It's not my PayPal. Sorry, my Patreon. Just $1 a month can keep a science communicator off the streets, if you will, or make a one-time donation to my PayPal. All the links are in the video description, and of course there is just because it's highly amusing, the link to my Amazon wish list. Please send me candy. That's all I ever want in life is candy. But if you sign up for my Patreon, there are perks. I put extra little brain droppings over into the Patreon, and I also have a Patreon exclusive live stream. And one of the best I want to be honest with you, the best thing I have provided ever to my patrons is my cheesecake recipe. It's definitely my second to the cheesecake recipe, though, was probably prank calling the Trump war room. Like, my Melania impression is second to none. You fucking children. Anyways, yeah, there's going to be another round of prank calls coming this month for the Patreon call. Like, there's no way we're not doing that. We have to. It's just too much fun not to. Anyways, this makes me so happy. Kelly Robeska Hall just caught an episode of Weird Earth. I still have not seen an episode of the show that I'm on. If you guys want to see me in a medium in which I'm actually like composed and well spoken, and I'm not tripping over myself, and because I'm edited really carefully, I'm on a show on the Weather Channel at 9:00 on Sunday nights called Weird Earth. So just go check out Weird Earth on the Weather Channel. Here's my little my fun little plugsicle. Anyway, but yeah, the same production company that I filmed Weird Earth with, they're like, hey, we're gonna do this all in a COVID in a COVID safe manner, but we want you back for another show. And I don't know if it's whether I have very few specifics, but I guess I wasn't so much of a pain in the ass last year that they don't want to. Yeah, so I'm very excited. I'm gonna be doing another show with the same production company, unless something falls through. And that's the terrifying thing, like I said, about TV. Shit has fallen. Like, I've been contacted to do more projects, and then just all of a sudden, like, something happens. And you'll hear this from anyone who's in like a second tier human who in the entertainment industry that occasionally has projects. They have stuff that someone called them for, or it was on the second meeting, and it just evaporates. But this place I worked with last time, they see, like, they'd said last year, yeah, we'll be calling you for another project next year. And indeed they did. And there have been follow-up emails. And so I'm excited. I just hope it's all safe. That's all I can say for it. Anyways, back, I wanted to quickly take care of one thing before we get any further on this. You are welcome, or I am sorry. But one thing I was sent this by a friend. D. Scott just asked which episode. I am on every single episode. I'm on. Yeah, we filmed it, and this is the neat part about the, as we call, semi-scripted reality shows like that. We filmed all the episodes, like all the content for 10 episodes of the show in like 2 days. I think it was a day of filming with all of us, and then like we each had like 1 day where they filmed our interviews. It was interesting. Like, I'd never done, obviously it was the first time doing a show like that. Like, I'd been, a guest for like one episode of other people's shows, but showing up and, being a part of the conversation for each of these shows was interesting. Like, I have to warn you, if you go and sit down and watch all the episodes of Weird Earth, they had me like, they show clips of all these different like weather and just earthly phenomenon, and you have to, like, all the panelists like take their turns like giving their suggestions at what it could be. And I was given, for one of the episodes, they were like, well, one of each of you three has to suggest something. And I was given the thing that I had to suggest for one episode, and I'm like, no, No, this is not what it is. That's definitely not it. I have astrophysicist friends who are going to judge me for saying that. They're like, you have to. We already have recorded somebody responding to you saying this. I'm like, oh my God. Somebody who didn't science wrote this. This is nah. Like, so it's I don't know what made it to the final cuts because I don't have cable and it's on the Weather Channel and I need cable. And it's a couple people are saying you would listen to me read audiobooks. I do have voice training from my undergrad theater degree. I just don't know who I call and be like, hey, I could read your audiobooks for you. Like, I'll sign up for that though. But yeah, that's but anyway, where was I at before I so rudely interrupted myself? But I was on a good little ramble there. I'm sure of it. Oh yeah, but Weird Earth. But it's yeah. There's I say things in there that I was somewhat they were like, hey, we need someone to say this, put it into your own words. There are some things that are definitely all me. There are some things that I'm like, oh my God, this was a script. So watch them and try to figure out which ones I suggested and try to figure out which ones they handed me. You'll have a guess, but I'm very excited for the next project with them. It's just like I said, my agent just told me beginning of this, keep yourself relevant for the next year somehow. So thanks to you guys tuning in here, I've been able to get a job for next year. So saying like it's the fact that I've been able to go, stay on here, have an audience, keep doing these. You guys, like I know I know I'm rambling. Thank you. You've enabled me to stay relevant until while the world's been shut down, which is it's hard to do, especially when the main place I was writing for that I loved writing at just day one of this. So it's been rough. We're here. We haven't all gotten through this, and that's the hard part. There was one other thing I wanted to address, no matter what, before the end of this, and that's that I got an email, both from a patron and from a friend of mine, and both the patron and the friend of mine were named Dylan, which was interesting, and I don't think had any. I don't know if it was the universe sending me a sign that I had to tell you about it, but I've gotten. An email about or a couple emails about ivermectin, because there are a couple articles, like a couple of pop articles. Like I know I have to be clear when I say article, do I mean like a science article or an article in like Nature or Cell or something like that? These are a couple of pop articles saying that ivermectin is like the thing that's gonna put COVID in its fucking place, right? And at first, like it was funny because first my friend Dylan sends it to me, and then patron Dylan sends it to me. And like when my friend sent it to me, I didn't look at it too closely. I had like a look at two quick things, and then like I looked at a few more things about the ivermectin, and I don't know what to make of this yet. But there's something about it, about the fact that there are so many articles that say it doesn't work, that it seems to be from the beginning of the pandemic that people were already looking into it, like in March. Like most of the information I can find on it is from like March, April. So that makes me think that they were looking into this early. And now it's no, this is good information. It's from now, Kelly Grabowski just pointed out, it's for parasites. But here's the thing, there are there are drugs that, just because they are for parasites, they have antiviral properties, they'll have antibacterial properties, kind of like I believe azithromycin also had antiviral properties even though it's an antibiotic. So there are a couple different drugs that like they'll do a couple things in your body. But there was a suggestion that ivermectin was like, here's the thing that's gonna fucking do it. And I can't for the fucking life of me find enough evidence that supports it. And there's something that feels like, from all of a sudden finding a few pop articles about it, but not being able to find sufficient scientific publications that support it. There's something And I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because if I'm wrong, it means that we have this really cheap, abundantly researched, safe medication that we've had for decades, that works. I would love to be wrong, but there's something that feels very similar to the push behind hydroxychloroquine. I wouldn't be surprised if we see another America's Frontline Doctors pushing ivermectin. There's something in the honest look. We've had the treatment for it all along, and it's so easy. And it's another med that we've had for a while. There's something about this that just feels off, and I don't know what it is. And I like I said, could be wrong. Hope I'm wrong. Now, the other thing about ivermectin, about the thing that I read, is that it's not, hey, it's saving people from the brink of death. It's we give it to people early, and they have a much lower chance of fatality, or of fatalities, or of being hospitalized, whoosh, all the way down. No, Diane Torgerson just said Trump owns stock. Now, one thing that I did took tiny little bits of umbrage with. He actually, people pointed out that he owned stock in the main company that made hydroxychloroquine. I don't even think that was why he was promoting hydroxychloroquine. I think that had more to do with his ego and wanting to have been right than stock in it, because he had very little, for someone who has that kind of investments, because he hasn't divested from anything. Of course he hasn't. He had such a low relative amount in the company that sold it. It seemed more like a wanting to be the savior type thing than anything else. It was a distraction, one of many, but I don't think it was a stock thing. No, and I think it's the same thing with the ivermectin. Now, one of the things this is why I don't know if it's bullshit or if it's going to be the next, you didn't do the studies with zinc, so it's all wrong. They're saying that when people are given ivermectin very beginning of the illness, it cuts down on Katie Fine, I want to bookmark your comment to read later. One of the big downsides to reading this stuff through through Restream is I can't click the links that you posted here. But let me do. Yeah, I really want to. I want to check this one out later. But it feels very similar to. Sorry, trying to. I need to unclick this. No, come on. Anyways, one day I'll get less bad. One day I won't feel so boomery fighting with technology on here. But back to ivermectin. Now, I think that the article said given early, given kind of prophylactically, it helps. I don't know if there's not published evidence. I don't know if I haven't found it yet. I don't know if it's coming out as a whatchamacallit. I don't know if it's just going to be if it's in, what's the word I'm looking for, if it's in preprint right now. But that's kind of one of the other things that makes me think that this is it's either just that it's coming out soon, or they found the right dosage, or whatever. I'm waiting on the data and it's going to be there, or this is just one of those, hey, we're trying to say you didn't use it right before, and here's the wonder drug, and it's a very HCQ type thing, what that they're gonna do like they did last time with with saying you had to use it with zinc, and it's just all bullshit. So I'm keeping an open mind, as I did with as I've done with everything. We just wait to see what the evidence is. But it's when you see ivermectin things, keep an eyebrow raised. There's something that seems a little weird, that the drug that we first saw bounced around in March, April is now being touted as, hey, we found a thing that's going to keep it totally under control. So that's that. Thank you. Oh, I really appreciate you guys grabbing some of the links over on Discord. This is you guys are the best. I have the best. I have the bestest. I have to put my dad. I have the bestest patrons. So anywho, but yeah, it's if ivermectin works, neat. I wouldn't start walking around maskless just because someone on the interweb said it does, though. Rick, thank you for the compliment on my headphones. I just want to point out for those of you guys who are new, the glitterifiedness. It's all I just glitterify your kitty ears. You need to give them some love. They need love. Let's see. Oh, Nicole just said studies through February, I think. Oh, are you talking about a vaccine study, or I'm very curious. People are very strange. You want Rick, you don't want the Diet Coke. This one's mine. Get your own. Nice. Anyways, scrolling back through. Not a dumb question at all. Dan Keeling asked, why does cold, dry air promote the spread of... One day I'll get better at clicking on these on the right one of these. Why does cold, dry air promote the spread of COVID as opposed to people being indoors versus outdoors? Well, I mean, it doesn't. It's the main reason. I mean, I could be explaining this wrong. If there's someone if there's someone in the audience who knows more about this than me and it catches any errors in my argument or explanation, please feel free to correct. But basically, the cold, dry air is just a better. It is a better what's the word, medium for those little my dog is very loud. It's a better medium for those droplets to be dispersed in, and they hang in that cold, dry air for longer. So that's the main reason why we see cold and flu. I mean, it's the biggest thing for flu season too, right? Those are two of the big things, or that's the big thing. The cold, dry air lets your flu, lets your cold, lets all those little things that are hanging in aerosols just hang out there for much longer. So it's not, and the other thing is that we are, we as soon as the fall started, a lot of people went back to school. So there were a couple things that made this, like, it's the air that made it a little bit worse, but also more people are in enclosed places in that air that kind of all wrapped up and made it worse. Yeah, buddy's loud. He wanted to let you guys all know that he loves you from 20 feet away, where he's being really at least it's 20 feet away and not right. Like, it's those of you guys who have tiny dogs, have they ever been in your lap and they just all of a sudden a leaf shakes 4 blocks away and they need to let you know at a volume so loud that they alerted people 2 time zones away? That's the thing Buddy does. He does that. I'm surprised I still have eardrums. Let's see. With most of us wearing masks. Now, this is something that happened last flu season that was kind of neat. With most of us wearing masks, how much lower will flu season be this season? I have not seen any data on the flu, and I don't want to, this is going to be speculative, but last year, flu season in the summer, the Southern Hemisphere was down by 99%, I believe. They barely had a flu season. So between... and of course, flu season in the Southern Hemisphere is, during their winter. They had basically nothing. So between, masks and staying home, I predict it's going to be a much lower flu season than normal. I can't say it for a fact either, but yeah, I'll be shocked. If there's even a blip of flu fatalities this year. It wouldn't. We're also having fewer cases of colds. We're having fewer cases of basically every transmissible disease. The only reason that we're having cases of COVID is that nobody's immune. So anytime you're in any room with other people with this, and there's out in the air, nobody has immunity to it. So it's just right on in. So yeah, other things are people are doing pretty well with not getting sick with other things, but not so much with this. And the other thing is flu shots. People were much better this last year about getting their flu shots, because as this is probably another Cybabe live stream drinking game phrase. There's only one thing stopping you from getting the flu and the COVIDs at the same time right now, and that's your fucking flu shot. So please make sure you get if you haven't gotten it yet, whatever hemisphere you're in, get a flu shot. And keep wearing your masks. But there was one. This made me this broke my heart a little. Somebody asked in a comment thread, on the page, because they said they had a bubble. It's like a lot of people have had little bubbles, right? You've had friends over, you've had, like, some people have had outdoor friends, some people have had, like, one or two people or a small social group that they've had over. And one person commented that they had, whatchamacallit, a bubble of, just three friends, basically, two from, that semi lived in their household. And I'm like, I hate to tell you, unless your bubble is just people who are complete hermits, and they don't see anyone else. They live at their home, their food is delivered. They don't even talk to the food delivery person. And you do the exact same. You don't have a bubble. Your bubble, all of your bubbles are belong to me. All of your bubbles are burst. There are no bubbles anymore. You have to presume at all times right now, this is the only safe way to go through the rest of this, or at least for the next 2 months, and until you're vaccinated in the US, because there's just so much COVID out there, because 1 in 20 people in LA has COVID right now. That's you have to presume at all times and act as though, towards, just to save yourself and save your fellow human being out there, that you are incubating a case of COVID, and so might they be. And you have to mask up appropriately when you're around other people. So the fact that I live at a house of this many people means that the thought of bringing someone into here, and they might have it, or one of us might have it, we don't know. Anytime someone comes to the house, that is a potential 10-person cluster of COVID, just immediately. And that's why we've been, so strict about not bringing someone, not having anyone in the house. I wonder, I don't know if I would have been so about everything with this if it hadn't been that I live in a house of this many people, and I'm terrified about having 10 humans all at once in a house sick. That worries me, especially knowing, high risk people, and we live in a city where we're down to less than 10% of our ICUs open now. So yeah, it's rough. Someone just commented that the Pfizer vaccine's been approved, which is exciting, especially knowing that we're going to run out of them really quickly, and we can't order more until June. It's really exciting, though. I'm really happy for all the people who in other countries that have been, responsible and have a good president, I'm also excited for us that we're going to get rid of this one, because apparently he lost another lawsuit today. I said I wasn't going to get political, but it's me. It is kind of exciting that he lost is this lawsuit number 27,000 they've lost at this point? I'm just saying, I feel this is making my chances of suing Montana in order to become Queen of Seychelles, it's looking a little more remote. I don't know. I'm not sure, though. It's more Jeff Schwartz, more winning. There's just so much winning. I guess what I'm amazed by is so many, I'm amazed by a lot of it. 57 lawsuits now. Wow. What I'm amazed by, and I'm sure most of us who are watching this, we're all in this together. What I think is amazing, anybody who has a sense of reality, who has a sense of shared reality. We all watched what happened. We were here for this. We saw the votes happen. We understand that people who are lifelong Republicans, who are conservative Republicans, have looked at this and gone, Biden clearly won. There was no fraud. These people have been conservatives who wanted, some of these were conservatives who wanted Trump to win, and they're like, he didn't win. That's just what happened. Sorry. This isn't what I didn't want this either, but that's how this worked out. There are still people who are just in this reality is whatever I'm going to make of it. If I keep saying the thing loud enough and often enough, people are going to listen to it. Propaganda that they're going to keep pushing because their base will listen to it, saying that Trump won, there was widespread fraud, even though, and that's the thing, is if you, it's hard sometimes to push a little lie, but if you say a big lie over and often enough, over and over again, loud enough and often enough, people will believe it. And that's just a theory of propaganda, or a principle of propaganda that is well known. and is used by dictatorial people for a reason. It works. So they're going to keep saying that there was that they had all of this, election fraud, and that all of these votes were fraudulent, and that there was, they need all these things, and they're going to say it without even the slightest bit of doubt or chance that they could be wrong, even with everyone on their tons of people on their side, people who were judges that were appointed by Trump saying, "You brought me no evidence. I can't know. Like, this is not how you, without the just out." They're going to keep saying it. It's amazing that they'll keep doing it, but they can, because that's just kind of how this works. They know that they'll be able to keep getting away with it, at least for a while. But and the hardest part is kind of remembering what reality is, that they did not win. The people, a person appointed by a Republican to overlook the election, said there was no fraud and it was secure. And they're at the point where the Supreme Court, the SCOTUS, is 2/3, 6 out of 9 of those judges were handpicked by the Federalist Society. I mean, these are as Republican. This is as Republican of a Supreme Court as you could possibly. I swear to God, Paul Ryan jerks off thinking about this thing. Or am I mixing up? It's all of the different, we have Rand Paul, all the different uber libertarian Republicans. I think these guys must just beat off thinking about how Republican the current SCOTUS is. Look at us, everything that we want. Six of them, 6 out of 9, were handpicked by the Federalist Society, which is just here are the golden ones that are going to give us all of our they're going to give us everything we want. They're going to give us they're going to overturn Roe v. Wade. They're going to do all the things that we want out of a Supreme Court judge. All 9 said fuck you to these stupid lawsuits. Every single one that has landed on their desk has been thrown out. The new one by Texas, thrown out. They're just they're gone. It's how, and what's sad is watching those come up, and people still after the Supreme Court, the one that people are like, yeah, we're taking it to the Supreme Court and you're going to lose there because it's a bunch of and the Supreme Court still throws it out. Their response after the Supreme Court throws it out is, obviously Alito, Gorsuch, and Kavanaugh are part of the deep state. Oh, how? I want to know exactly how head up your ass do you have? Which chamber of the large, where are you in the intestinal canal when you can't even accept that the Supreme Court is saying, nah, this ain't it, slick. It's just we have a person over on Periscope that's like, not true. We have a reality denier over there who just said that's just one case. Dude, you've lost all, but Trump has lost nearly 60 cases now. Nearly 60 cases. You've lost everything. Impeached loser President Trump, who has never won a popular vote in his life, who is going to be out of office in 45 days. It's going to be who nobody gives a goddamn about anymore, is losing lawsuits left or right while trying to overthrow a democratically run election that he lost by having states sue other states, and the Supreme Court, of which a third of the judges he selected, is telling him no. And there are people that still think that there's a plot against their good and honorable president. Oh, you adorable somethings, you cute kids. This is what's funny. You say something like this, and the problem is, Roger, I'm already debating your points right now, and they're just so dumb. You'd hurt yourself. Your points are just, you're wrong. That's Trump said, that's just one lawsuit. You guys have lost everything. There's no evidence. There are Republican judges saying there are no evidence. You lost by millions of votes in many states. there's just, it's Biden won the exact same amount of electoral votes that Trump did last time. This is what we call a coup, and it was weird that a bunch of congressmen who won in the exact same states that they're trying to overturn elections in seem to think that they should still keep their seats. It's very sad. Oh, Roger, that's adorable. You're on here looking for attention from a girl. Meh. It's not a popular vote. Trump lost the popular vote and the electoral vote. Trump lost the electoral vote this time by the same amount that he won it last time. I'm sitting here in a place where you can't find me, can't hurt me. I've got a fuckload of followers and I have a happy life. You're hunting for a fight on Twitter. It's very sad. Hold on a second. The good thing is I can block your ass because this is just getting boring. I'm so bored. Hold on a quick second. Let me take care of that. Every so often you got to take a second out of dealing with the troll to get rid of the troll. Oh, Periscope, how do you work again? Skip. Oh, I should press second. Apparently this thing will play itself back to me. There we go. Much better. And Roger is gone. You know, these things happen sometimes. Meh. Look, when I need attention, I totally go to randoms throwing, having live streams and hope that they notice me hurling insults at them. That's what I do because it's a normal, healthy thing to do when you're looking for some fun and pleasure on the internet in the age of COVID. Dude, just meh. It's what happens when you're sad your white supremacist president lost, I guess. Anyways, that's where we are. I'm gonna wrap this up soon. It's my favorite. Nicole just said my favorite pulmonologist laughed at the idea of ivermectin. I'm glad that my instinct on that isn't too far off. Let's see. I'm to do your comments back at this is the one thing that makes me sad because Roger was on Periscope. Is like he's gone now, so like he can't see your comments over on Facebook. Like, and this is tomorrow my plan is to sit down and figure out how to use OBS so that I can get like a better stream in here so that everyone on each platform can see all the comments from all of your I've been really lazy about doing that, and I realized after watching all the streamers that I watch, I'm like, I really like the format where everyone can see the comments coming in from. I've been too lazy and shouldn't do that anymore. So anyways, I'm going to try to fix a little bit of the formatting on this so that this is more user-friendly to you guys, because I think that I've been falling asleep on the job on that. Also, just technology terrifies me, and I'm always afraid that this is going to like crap out in the middle of a stream, like the more things that I attach to things, like, so I'm getting it there. Anyways, every so often you see something that makes you go, huh, in the comments section. And I just saw somebody, I'm shocked that I still have Trump voters here. Anyway, but seeing like, I'm going to be kind to you, man, and not highlight your comment, but somebody just said calling Trump racist is a stretch. I don't even know what to, man, like if you need to be told that Trump is racist, like I don't even know what to I don't know what to say to you. Like that's where do we even start, dude? Like I got nothing to tell you. I can't. It's if we're at this point, like if we're here, and you still are like, I gotta be convinced. There's not a thing I can do that will make you be like, oh, I was wrong. Just did I miss that there was satire there? I can't tell. That's the thing that could happen, but it would seem like a weird thing to be satirical about. So that's I don't think I'm exhausted enough to have missed that one being satire though, or that would be a very weird thing to be satirical on. But yeah, dude, it's just a very strange thing to just randomly like I don't know, I feel like if I were to I feel like if I were to have an opinion about someone who the world thought was racist and my opinion was maybe they're not racist, that's an opinion that I would go, maybe I should just not readily volunteer that opinion. But, I'm always glad when people have those kinds of thoughts that they're always the kind of people who are like, I got to give these thoughts to people. I need to let people know I have these thoughts because it lets us identify you much easier because it's fun when those thoughts just shooting out like hot diarrhea. You can't not, you have to be like, I have this ugly thought, needed to share it. But that's what you like. I'm giving you some advice to help make your life easier though, Ricky. Like like whatever your idea is on him not being racist, just make your life a little easier. Don't tell people that. Like just lean in. Tell people you like the racism. I think that's a more honest thing to say. Oh, your comment back, why are you surprised everyone is entitled to their opinions with their spelled incorrectly? Oh man. Let's see. That's fun. That's fun. I'd like to go back to the days of my youth where we were all free to express our thoughts and smart enough not to share the stupid ones. Just like I said, I'm not telling, I mean, I am telling you you're wrong, about this one, dude, but I'm also telling you like I'm trying to give you good advice on this. There are people like me who will judge you correctly to be wrong, dumb, and racist, again correctly, for saying that Donald Trump is not a racist. And what you could do to help your life out a lot is don't share those opinions with other people unless you think they're racist. Because if you say that to anyone who's not a racist, they're going to think you're a racist. So, and I'm not saying this to like, I don't know you from fucking, I don't know you. Maybe you're a nice guy. Maybe you're a fucking flying bag of dicks. But if you're not a flying bag of dicks, don't tell people that you think Trump isn't racist. Just an idea. I'm trying to help you, man. I'm giving you advice that will make your life better. So feel free to take it, or feel free to tell people that you think Trump isn't a racist. So this will make your life less bad. More women will want to fuck you. Maybe that's not your thing, but just, I'm rooting for you to be a less bad human being. So I always think we can improve ourselves. Anyways, this is good. I feel like we can close on this. Crayon color, shit brown, named opinions. Oh, I'm shooting that one right over to Alice. She'll like it. What's the crayon link again? So the crayon link is the last thing that I posted to the page before this. And of course, you'll see a lot of people screaming at me. And if you want to go back to the beginning of this video, about 5-10 minutes in, I start apologizing for that. And there's a whole long thing about that. The crayon link is offensivecrayons.com/discount/SciBabe. And if you don't go through the discount/SciBabe link, then it's promo code SciBabe, 20% off the whole site. Yes, this is an ad, and yes, I'm going to be totally blunt with you guys. I get a little kickback when you guys go through there. You also get a discount that you wouldn't get without going through my link on there. So if you have a person who does have offensive humor, or if you just like, because there are really cute little, they're like ball gag face masks, and there are cute little mugs that say I watch porn because I'm a horrible person, like because Alice and I are bad people. But there are a bunch of things on there that are not the offensive crayons. that are cute stocking stuffers. I really like the I watch porn mug because I'm a bad person. But like, not you guys get a chunk, a really good chunk of change off. Also the did I throw them? Dang it, I threw them out. The Galaxy bombs, the little bath bombs. I designed all the scents on there. I'm very proud of them. They smell great. And if you want some relaxation right now, I love them. But that is one thing on there that they are deeply discounted because they're really, really highly discounted before the 20% off. So then there's another 20% off, and another 20% off on top of that. I would suggest checking those out. They're lovely. But I see someone got a ball gag face mask. That makes me very happy. Like and here's the thing. I told Alice, because she originally had the neck gaiters that don't work quite as well, and I told her, I'm like, I will not push. I won't post those onto SciBabe until you get a filter pocket. So she specifically designed the ball gag face mask ones to get a filter and like, it's a lot of work to design these products, going back and forth with all of our distributors and everything. She worked to get a filter face mask because I demanded it for you very sciencey perverts. So anyways, I hope that you guys find some stuff on there that you like. I hope that the discount helps you guys get some fun little stocking stuffer. Like, look, if you guys are out for stuffing the stocking of people you love this Christmas, have we got some offensive shit for you? Anyways, but I hope that you guys enjoy some of the things from there. And again, I totally understand why a few of the crayons did not sit well with people. If there are people still watching this an hour and a half after we started this who were upset with me earlier in the day, shoot me an email and let's talk. I get it. The comment section are not an easy place to hash this out, which is why I took it to here. It was not to avoid. It's just, that's how interweb fighting works. I've been here long enough. I know how this is. But anyways, it's Stephen, you asked for a screen that I already did it at the hour mark, but here we are, and I'm a woman. I'm a queen who serves my people. I'm going to pretend you're all my Seychelles what? The Seychelles what? Anyways, here we go. There we are. Anyways, I'm gonna. So I'm gonna take off. I will see you guys on Sunday. By which time I'm sure that we're gonna have like the daily case toll in LA is gonna be who the fuck knows how high. There's actually I'm gonna leave you with one parting thought that I posted to my personal profile the other day on the Facebooks. If you guys aren't all already stalking me on there, because as I said, over 0.1% of the population of LA got hit with COVID yesterday, and more, or about 0.1% yesterday, over 0.1 today. And so it's at that rate, it would take about a little less than 3 years, right, for the entire population of the city to get sick, right? That's about that's about where we are with that. It'll take about 3 years. And I mean, that's, about 2.5, 3. Anyways, so we're at this point with, we have only 10% of the ICU beds left. So we have so many people who, we have so many people who are like, nah, it's fine. Just let everyone do it'll be okay. We could just go live your lives, get sick, do whatever. And so a huge percentage of the people who are hospitalized, I believe about half the people who land in the hospital are, I want to say it was under the age of 50. It's not just old and infirmed people. It's a lot of people who thought they were going to be fine with this, and you don't know what kind of case you're going to get. So what I'm saying is there are a lot of people who thought we were going to be fine with this, that you could just go out, live your life, get the sick, and we were going to be able to absorb all the people who were who like the hospital systems would be okay. We'd be able to absorb it because not that many people were getting sick. And approximately 1% of people are going to die from, approximately, like I said, but then about 10% total are going to be sick long term from it. And that's where things get really, really rough. Like, we have a certain percentage of people that are going to be hospitalized. And as we can see, if 0.1% of the city gets sick every day, knowing that we're at the highest point, we're getting the most new cases that we've ever had right now, and we only have 10% of the ICU left. What happens in 2 months what happens if this continued at this rate every day? When does our ICU fill up? Like what, 2 weeks from now? 1 week from now? At what point is like where does the ICU hit stasis above where we normally have room? How many more people do we need space for? How many more doctors and nurses do we need if this is the rate of infection? And this is with us mostly locked. This is with a lot of people staying home. This is with masks. What would it be like if we weren't staying home and didn't wear masks? Like if this hit us all at the exact same rate that the 1918 Spanish flu did in October of 1918, when 195,000 people died. And this is one thing that I that's kind of terrifying. Our rate of fatalities in the U.S. About a month ago, around beginning of November, was about 1,000 people a day, and we're up above 3,000 people a day. It's tripled in a month. I don't think it's gonna triple again over the course of the next month. None of us know. It all depends on our behavior right now. And that's kind of the point I'm getting to, is this could continue and it's probably going to continue. Like, we're going to see it level a little bit, and we're going to see another bump around Christmas. And the way that the growth of this thing works all depends on our behavior. And I know that we can't control for everyone else, but we can control for ourselves. So again, pretend that you've got think that act as though you might have an active case of it at all points. And I know, like, that means that you can't go to the grocery store, but what I mean is, keep that fucking mask on. If you are out in a place with other people, keep that mask on. Don't let other people come into your house. If you've got to see someone, if you have to hand off something, whatever, have it on your front porch, have it on your side porch. I don't know if you have a porch, but no visiting in other people's homes. And I know missing Christmas is gonna fucking blow, but it'd blow even more if you deprived yourself of the next like 20 Christmases because you couldn't skip this one. Like, there's not going to be room in the ICU at Christmas. Like, what if it's like there are so many other things that we need those ICUs open for. I had a friend who just had who just had breast cancer removed, and I know that's not the ICU, that's the OR, but still, like, there are all these other things that we need the hospitals open for right now, that we need room in them, that we need the doctors available for. Do your part, stay home. Don't be one of the cases that's taking away a spot in the hospital from someone who's an essential worker. Please, this is a nightmare. And we have and I get it. The biggest place to blame is the top, because it's the biggest place to blame is the top, because the messaging on this really made people behave in ways that they wouldn't have. They were told from day one, this is going to be hard. We're all in this together. We're going to do things to help make this tenable financially for people to stay home and survive this. And there are places to blame that obviously aren't the individuals in this. So, let's be honest about that. This isn't, the fault of people who are like, I need to go to work. I'm the president said, don't wear a mask. Why, who should I believe? Like, and right now there's enough information, there's enough data, what the right thing to do is. So I hope you guys are all, I know you're going crazy. It sucks. It really fucking sucks to stay home. But I hope you guys are all staying home. I hope you're finding stuff to keep yourselves entertained. Watch Weird Earth on the Weather Channel. I'm just saying. I recorded some funny shit for you. And we're gonna get through this. And the thing I'm doing right now, I'm making a list. Like, this is my thing to get me through until next year. I'm making a list of all the places I'm gonna go and all the things I'm gonna do. Like, as soon as I know I've got some immunity built up in me, as soon as I'm getting out, like, make yourself a bucket list of all the shit that you're gonna do. I'm just my plan. I'm making a list of all the places you're going to go, and like, to start getting excited, because getting out is soon. Just get, it's coming. It's around the fucking corner. We're almost there. Just don't fuck it up now. We're so close. Like, I think I would be more pissed if I got COVID now than at any other point in the pandemic, because it's like, I have stayed inside this long. Do not cough on me. Do not do it. Anyways, so I know a handful of people watching this probably have caught COVID and are like, I didn't do anything wrong. And it's like you didn't do anything wrong if you caught it. I'm hoping that I luck out and manage to not breathe in the wrong particle at the grocery store, and none of my roommates are in a place that they manage to catch it either. So anyways, I hope the same for all of you guys. I hope that you're not in a position at work where you're catching it, and I hope your kids are safe. Mask up, stay home as much as you possibly can. Wash your hands. I love you guys, and I will see you on Sunday. Stay safe. Bye.